So this one was a long time coming. I've had expressed in a previous video that I do want to talk about Nebris and set the record straight about her. I think what caused me to be wrong about her in the first place was that I was tying her too close to Michaela's score. In the initial video, I stated that I wasn't going to rank her higher than Michaela because I didn't believe that she was better than Michaela. Turns out I am pretty wrong about that. The big difference between Michaela and Nebris is that Michaela's buff cannot be used for any other costume, while Nebris's buff can. And that is a very big thing because it sort of fixes the problems with Lifeguard. And the only caveat is that you can't use Lifeguard on the first turn if you need more damage. So that's one thing. The other thing is that Nebris was so close to the Sinrin Kagura collab that I was just not comfortable potentially misleading everyone into pulling for Nebris and not the collab. So I was just extra harsh on Nebris for that reason, even if it was just subconsciously. And that was absolutely the wrong choice. I should have been able to maintain objectivity during my review. And I started feeling this way during the collab when I pulled for all these characters. But when it comes down to it, I've been using Nebris way more than every single collab character. And what finally caused me to be fully convinced to make this video was when a buddy of mine sent me a video of a level 13 Fiend Hunt. And it's a pretty long video. Unfortunately, it is in the foreign language. But the person who made it is named Shimanami. And he basically has everyone in the raid maxed out. And he does a lot of damage, let me put it that way. So at the end, he does show the damage meter. And it turns out Nebris is at the very top. And it's not even close. And this is with the Fiend Hunt being catered to the Sinrin Kagura units. So that video was basically the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And I was like, okay, I really need to make an update video just so I can tell everyone that Nebris is actually good. So as far as my first video is concerned, a lot of what I say on there is actually still true, is still objectively correct. The problem is my conclusion to the whole thing. I downplay her positives, but I also highlight her negatives. Because as it turns out, the negatives aren't really that bad. Sure, Lifeguard Nebris needs the buff from Labryinth Gatekeeper Nebris in order to do really awesome damage. But that's okay. It's not like Lifeguard can't do her job. It's just that she doesn't do it as well as others. But what matters is that she can be strong enough to do the job. And furthermore, Lifeguard Nebris can actually buff Labyrinth Gatekeeper and Fiend Hunts because of the first turn only having 5 SP. One of the best things you can do with that 5 SP limit is buff Nebris. That way her team can do way more overall damage. And this is why she is probably the most versatile winged unit in the game right now, because she has these conditional buffs that she can use that allows her to be better than she honestly should be in a lot of modes. And I'll make it very clear right now, Nebris is very clearly better than all the collab units, period. Yumi is only good in normal PvE content, and people still contest me with that all the time. Hikage is only really good in Last Night, Fiend Hunts, and Guild Raids, which Nebris is also very good in. And Yozakura is a generalist, but Nebris has more application than her across the board. Nebris is easily the better investment. We also have to keep in mind that Nebris is getting a third costume in December, so she's only going to become even more versatile. Very clearly, Nebris is a fan favorite. The player base has ranked her as number 5 on the popular charts for whatever that is worth, because the popular chart isn't really that good in the first place. But the point is that we love her, the devs definitely love her, and she is rapidly getting new costumes. I wouldn't even be surprised if she gets a 4th costume in like February or March. And at the rate they are going, she's easily going to be one of the best characters in the game. Nebris's actual big weakness is that she needs both her costumes. And the Lifeguard costume is still underwhelming, simply because it doesn't deal that much damage. You still probably want to use Dalvi instead of Lifeguard Nebris for general PvE content. She has a premium vault type 3x3 range, while Nebris is stuck with a 2x3, and she's very front only. That said, Lycard Nebris still gets the job done, and she still does the job better when she has Labryinth Gatekeeper on her side. But when it comes to Gatekeeper herself, she still runs into the issue of being a column nuker, and just by that alone, she can't hard carry general PvE content. She's more of a secondary costume in that mode, while in in-game content, Labyrinth Gatekeeper pops off just because the damage matters a lot more in those modes. I went ahead and adjusted my ratings for Gatekeeper Nebris. She is overall a character where you can throw her in somewhere and you can be very confident that she will perform quite well. And with all of the updates that NeoWiz is doing, including getting rid of the world buff for general content, this makes her even better because now she's not limited to that world buff. You can use her in a lot more applications. Obviously, elemental advantage and disadvantage still matters, but now it doesn't matter as much because you don't have that world buff inflating the damage of other characters. This means we can potentially be seeing Nebris a lot more because in all honesty, that world buff was doing a lot for characters. So now without that being a thing, things are going to be evening out more, and we'll be seeing characters like Nebris shine a lot more in neutral element situations. So originally Nebris was at a 4 out of 10. I bumped her up to 7 because I really do think now that she is better than Michaela overall. We'll see what happens when Nebris gets her third costume, because that's also going to provide conditional buffs. But at this rate, I'm pretty confident in saying that Nebris is going to be one of the strongest units in the game. Also, I know I've been gone for a while because honestly, I really needed a break. I've been playing other games and it's been pretty refreshing to play single player games for a while. But now that I'm back, I want to see if I can try to get back that same momentum that I had before. Also, apparently Nebris is going to have a special cutscene that we'll be able to enjoy. So look forward to that, I guess.